Ready for action.
Like it's like different, you know?
Yeah,
like,
I know exactly what you feel, bro. When I first
like,
did it, episode 1, my hands were sweating and shit because I'm like crazy.
Yeah, but now you're a pro, right? How many have you done? Like
it's number 9.
10? Yeah.
10 technically.
Mm-hmm.
But the original episode 8, I had to scrap because the audio kind of got fucked up. So unfortunately, and that was really one of my favorite episodes because the guy he's the executive director for this child trafficking organization where they fight against child trafficking.
Yeah.
And we talked about some serious shit, man. We talked about that. So
you lost all the audio?
It was going in and out really bad.
Oh, okay.
So there was never a point where it corrected, where he, I guess, stayed at the same volume where the threshold picked it up. So I couldn't, even if I tried to edit it or something like that, or do subtitles, it still wouldn't have worked.
So let me ask you a question. Do you have like a backup audio feed? Like, for example, like let's say your camera that you're recording from, you like kind of pull audio from there if like this goes out?
Yeah, but it's really shitty.
Okay.
Like, really shitty. And I have it minimized because I don't want that echo, because the way the software works is it records all the mics at once.
Oh yeah, so it's using like your camera your phone like directly as a camera, I guess then, right?
So that's different. That's strictly for the chess game. Right now, that one's not even recording.
Okay.
That one actually is perfect because that one provides backup audio for the chess game. So if our mics go in and out during the chess game, I can pick up the audio from the phone and plug it in wherever I need to. But no, for this, like the actual podcast, the bulk of it, like there's no backup feed. So this has to work. If this doesn't work, then damn, I kind of fucked in that arena. Really? How about now? Good?
How about me? Okay.
Do I need to like speak up or do I need to? Yeah, let me phrase it.
It reminds me, like, you know, like during COVID, right? Like, I started like streaming. Like a lot of DJs started streaming, you know, because like all the gigs, like, you know, most of the events got like canceled, postponed, right? So something to do, but like I had to learn how to like stream, how to connect like the audio into like my laptop using like streaming platform, and I had to learn about lighting, stuff like that. Yeah.
Where were you doing it out of? At
my house.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It looked like a fucking studio. I remember some of those.
Dude, so like until a year ago, I was living with my parents. Right, me and my wife were living at my parents' crib, and then like about almost a year ago to the day, I basically moved across the street and bought my house like in an off-market deal with my neighbor.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, during COVID, I was like they have a media room upstairs. So I just turned that into my DJ room.
Yeah, that shit looked sick because I remember you posting them on Instagram. And I saw other DJs doing this, and artists were doing that too, where they would kind of do a live stream show, something like that. Were you streaming off of Twitch or how are you?
I was streaming to Twitch, but there's like a interim program in between that most people use, connect to Twitch or other streaming platforms, called OBS.
Yeah, that's what I use.
He probably has heard of OBS before.
I use it. That's what I'm using.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
This whole thing is off of OBS.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah.
So, but I'm not using the streaming aspect of it right now because I don't know if I want to make this a live stream.
You can just still like record off of it and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we're doing right now, is just strictly using OBS recording software rather than streaming.
Yeah, it's pretty like versatile.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember. Do you remember when I was gaming,
bro? No, I'm not into gaming either.
I posted it on Instagram a few times, but I had an Instagram for gaming and a YouTube for gaming.
Oh, you
I was
did?
doing Call of Duty.
Okay,
that was when I was using OBS for streaming. Yeah, so you can connect Twitch and everything you want to live stream on to OBS.
Yeah.
So as soon as you start streaming on OBS,
it'll goes to everything.
Yeah, it's like a foundation or a base.
Yeah. So you had to like just input the stream code. But yeah, I used to game. Yeah. I just honestly, bro, I never got into gaming. I mean, when I was little, I used to play like Street Fighter.
Yeah.
So like, but I never did like multiplayer online. And stuff, you know what I mean? Like,
thank God you didn't, bro. It's addicting.
Yeah. I feel like I would get addicted to it and like less productive.
100%.
But it seems like you were pretty productive even with gaming.
I haven't gamed in a long ass time, except for the last 2 fucking days. And I realized why I stopped, because it's addicting. Like if I'm not working, I just want to hop on Call of Duty, even though I suck. Like I'm ass at the game, but once you get in that mode, it just takes your attention away.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I just wasted a whole afternoon. Or
yeah, and if you're, you're probably competitive, right? You know what I mean?
Scream, yelling out there, bro. I'm like,
man, I think anybody, like, a lot of people that you see that are like ambitious and stuff, they're competitive in some way or the other, right? So like, I could definitely see competitive.
Bro, it's bad. Like, shit. I feel like I could go viral if I put all my rages on YouTube or something like that. Like, people would watch that shit, but I don't want to embarrass myself and put that on there. So I'm like, you know what?
But, honestly, that's probably what people want to see. You know 100%. What I mean? It's always the stuff like that. The stuff that goes viral, it's always like, always on that threshold of like, should I put this out there? Like, should I? It's kind of like you gotta put the stuff that you're vulnerable about out there, and then pick up on it.
Have you seen that kid named Speed who's all over the internet right now? He has like dreads, and all he does is play video games, and just scream, fucking rage. Bucks up. He's gotten like 10, 20 million subscribers now on YouTube.
Dude, like all these games, these like, because when I was on Twitch, I would see like who are the biggest streamers and stuff. Like it's like video games by far. Like the people who stream playing gaming and shit, bro. So I'm not surprised, but yeah, I'm definitely not in the game. Ecosystem or anything like that.
I was streaming for you during COVID though. Were you making money off that shit?
No, bro. I didn't do it for the money, bro. I kind of just like did it to stay relevant. And then like if people, like if prospective clients were like looking for like samples and stuff, I kept my streams online. You know what I mean? That was it. Like I didn't do it for money. I didn't monetize or anything. Anyway, there's a big problem, right? Because with all the songs you're playing, right? There's all these like copyright issues. Stuff. Yeah. So first it started on Instagram Live, and then because of the copyright issues, and moved to Twitch. But Twitch, keep your streams up on there for a while. Never really kicked you off. But you definitely couldn't like monetize.
Did they mute your shit? Because I've ran into that
after
issue.
A while they did. Yeah, after a while they did.
That sucks.
In the beginning they didn't. So.
What's the law? Do you know the rules on that? Because you got to know the rules, right?
So bro, I had a workaround, right? So like because I'm DJing, I was able to like speed up the songs a little bit and then like turn off my pitch lock, which when you speed up the track, then it changes the pitch, right? So then it like their security software, whatever that the audio goes through, that they like auto detect if it's like copyrighted material, it doesn't like work as well.
Damn.
Right. So my stuff would only get muted like here and there because I would change the pitch and the speed. So essentially when you change the pitch and the speed, it becomes like almost, I don't want to say undetectable, but like, it doesn't automatically get detected because it's essentially a different audio than like what they run it through for their copyright.
So it sounds the same? Like it sounds like the original song?
No, it does. It's pitched up. Like if you just listen to it, you can't really tell, right? But like, if you were to compare, like if you played the regular song and then you played this one that's like sped up and pitched up a little bit, if you were to like sit down and compare, you could probably tell.
Yeah, you gotta teach me how to do that. My shit gets copyright flagged all the time. Like if I post stuff on Instagram and I have a song playing in the background, like a reel for this show or something like that, every time it gets flagged.
Yeah, nowadays I'm sure there's like this was back in 20, right? So that was like the Wild Wild West, right? Yeah. People were like everybody just hopped on streaming and like, they even like Twitch's, Facebook's, now Meta, all their systems were kind of just encountering all these like borderline or illegal type stuff, right? Now I'm sure they have like systems in place. So like I'm this workaround that I'm talking about that worked in 2020 might not work now, but I don't know.
Once all that shit cleared up, you stopped with the streaming stuff, or do you still do it here and there?
No, I don't do it.
It's a possibility though. Like that's an avenue for income. Like you're not doing shit and you're just at home. You're like,
the problem is I'm always doing it. Like, Yeah. So there you go. But besides the DJ thing, like, so my family, we have stores like gas stations and liquor stores. You post those clips on Instagram. So remember I was talking about how like the stuff that goes viral is like the stuff that like, you're like, I don't know. Should I put it out there? Dude. Most people, they don't even ask me about any of my DJ content. All they ask me about is like, hey, dude, you own a gas station? Like, does that stuff happen all the time? Like, yeah, it does. Like, like honestly, I'm like kind of busy and like I don't post a lot of the stuff that happens, you know. But I think I need to, man. Like,
bro, you should start a channel with that.
I do have an Instagram for it. I started one and then I just never like. It's still out there. It's called Gas Station Vids. Yeah, but
those get so many clips on YouTube, bro. The shorts.
Yeah, like dude. There's another like big YouTube channel with like gas station theft. And I forgot what it was called, bro. But yeah, that one, it's funny because like he posts a video and then he does like a voiceover. It's like kind of funny.
Like narrates it and
shit.
Yeah,
he narrates it. Yeah. He's like, oh, well, I'm walking down. I see this Gatorade. I'll put it in my pants and then I'll walk out and then he chases after them. It's funyou're
working at the stores at all? Or are you guys
so my wife and I, so we have, me and my wife, we manage one property, right? So we just opened this liquor store and gas station. The liquor store we opened in November of last year, and the gas station we opened in October of last year, right? So me and my wife, we manage it. We have like cashiers that work the register, and like we're kind of like in and out of there, bringing stuff, making sure like the inventory is good, and making sure like kind of like all the managerial tasks are done, like doing all the numbers, stuff like that, right? And we have cashiers that work register, but you know, it's safe for the cashiers. Like we have bulletproof glass at our stores and stuff. I think like safety wise, when it comes to gas stations, like dude, all gas stations got to have like bulletproof glass.
Strap too, bro.
Strap too, but like the main thing to stay safe is bulletproof glass. Like anytime I see online like where like gas station attendants get killed or somebody gets killed at a gas station or robbed, right? Usually like robbed at gunpoint. I mean, like usually it's at a gas station or convenience store that does bulletproof glass.
Yeah. That should be like mandatory.
It should be mandatory. Like bro, crazy because we have an older store and like we used to get like robbed like at least like once every 6 months. There's like and then one time we got robbed like twice in like 2 weeks.
Jeez.
And it was like the same people, right? So
really?
after that, ones? Yeah, because they were wearing the same like Spider-Man mask or something. Like, yeah. And so after that, we put up bulletproof glass and we haven't had any problems. Like the only problem we have like with crime is like, you know, people put stuff in their pocket and try to walk out. But that's like any gas station.
Shit, every store, bro. I used to do that at Walmart all the fucking time,
I used to steal those like X-Men cards
everything,
back in the day.
Dog. Yeah. You know, the self-checkout, not everything will get checked out. Shit, just some of it goes straight in the bag, bro.
Yeah, you know, these are usually like kids. But
that makes sense. But you fucking with that more, or you like the DJing?
I mean, if you're talking about passion, bro, DJing is my passion, right? But like, you know, some people will tell you like, oh, if you have a passion, drop everything and like, you know, only follow your passion and don't do anything else. Like, dude, I think like definitely it's important to follow your passion. I'm so lucky to have something that like I enjoy doing and you know, pays me good money, right? But at the same time, we have to be real and like practical. I'm in my mid 30s. I'm not going to say exactly how old I am on the recorded line, but like, you know, DJing weddings especially, I do feel that it's definitely a possibility that there's an expiration date, right? Like, no matter how old I get, my clients usually stay around the same age, right? So I would say like the average age of my clients is anywhere from between 27 to 32, right? And at some point, maybe when I'm in my 50s, you know, like they'll stop seeing me as relevant. You know what I mean? So
that's a big part of the game, your relevancy and like how, I guess, clout in the DJing game. Is that, you see that in the wedding DJ scene too?
Wedding DJs, like there's like a lot of different factors, right? So I think that as a wedding DJ and as a DJ in general, you know, there's like the technical skill side of it, but there's also like the marketing side of it, right? Because no matter like how good of a DJ I am, how good I can scratch or mix the song in, at the end of the day, the people that are like that you're catering to that want to book you and spend money with you are like basically brides, right? Which are like women. You know what I mean? I mean, let's be real. Like wedding receptions are mostly for the bride, right? Like, you know what I mean? It's not
the whole wedding's for the bride.
Groom, you know, he has a say, but it's most of what a wedding reception is, and even a wedding itself is like The commercial side of it is it's mostly marketed toward the bride, right? So, you know, as far as like the marketing side of it, definitely like you got to have some stuff that appeals to like the bride as well. You know what I mean? It gotta seem like that, or I have to I'm not saying what I do isn't lit, but like what I put out there on the internet, like it definitely, you know, kind of has to entice my target market, which is brides and grooms, and you know, so
it has to stir up like an emotional response in them, right? Like it has to get them
like
going.
They gotta have a reaction, you know. So
I think that's everything, bro. I watch a lot of podcasts too, like you, and I was listening to one recently. You know, the ones that are popping right now, like those red pill podcasts and shit like that.
Yeah, like what is it called? The Fresh and Fit. Fresh and Fit, man.
One.
Oh my god.
Now there's this new one where it's this white guy who has women on, like a bunch of girls on, like 21, stuff like that.
There's like in
and
Miami,
he's just making them look delusional and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know that one.
And there's like a bunch of writing behind them or something like that. I don't know. I guess the name of the show.
It's a white guy, right? Yeah.
But basically, what he said was, and he had a very valid point. When you're watching a commercial, if you just objectively watch the commercial, you can tell that they're targeting women 90% of the time, because men logically will look at it and be like, do I need it? No. Yeah. I'm not going to get it. A woman will be like, damn, that made me feel good. I want to get it. Like, babe, can you buy me that? Like, whether they need it or not, or whether she needs it or not, it's just what emotional reaction got stirred up when she watched the commercial. And that's why the really good ones make commercials that get them going, like, you know, get the juices flowing in chicks.
Yeah, but you know, at the same time, of course, you have to like, you know, get the bride's attention, especially, right? But at the same time, you've got to deliver a pretty like similar, if you know, you got to deliver on the product and like the reaction at the event as well, right? Like, otherwise, you're gonna lose your reputation. You know what I mean? So. I'm not saying like, okay, you have to market really well and then like the product you give them at the end is like not good, then you know
that's, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call a scam.
Right there. Scam, fraud, right? So you can't be doing that. But I hope you and the listeners kind of understand what I meant.
Yeah. But I mean, you got the scene on lock pretty much. At least every wedding I've been to has kind of been, you know, you've been DJing there.
Yeah, maybe you know that might be because we have a lot of mutual people in our social circle, but like I mean there is competition, right? Just like in any business, right? You have competition. I think there's enough business to go around, right? You know, I think it's really easy to always just focus on your competition, and you know, sometimes that not even in like the wedding industry or like DJ industry, but like in general, I think that like focusing on your competition definitely can affect your mental health, right? And so, you know, sometimes you just got to like catch yourself when you keep looking at like what other people are doing in your industry. I think it's always better to like focus on yourself. In regards to DJing and like the wedding industry in particular, like I think that there is enough like business to go around at this point, right? And I don't think it's that great to just go about it in like a famine mentality to where like, oh no, you know, if this guy shouldn't be getting business because then that cuts out of my plate. You know what I mean? I don't think that's like a really healthy way about going about things. But to answer your question, there is definitely competition. Yeah. You know what I mean? But you know, everybody at the end of the day, you know, everybody kind of got to do what they got to do for their own business. You know,
how do you kind of get, I guess, most of your business? Just word of mouth?
Word of mouth, and also social media. Social media. I think those are the main two. And also vendor referrals, right? So like if I've worked with a particular wedding planner before and then she knows I always kill it, then she's more likely to recommend me or put me in the pool of DJs that she recommends, right? So, or he or she, sorry, I don't want to be gender specific.
90% are women.
Yeah, 90, sure. But yeah, so I think that's the top three: word of mouth, Instagram mainly. I'd say. Although TikTok is getting pretty big.
Yeah. It's like an interesting format though yours has, right? Because I I see it almost as two different industries.
Mm-hmm.
You have like the entertainers, DJs, like Steve Aoki, stuff like that, where they're pretty much selling themselves. Mm-hmm. Whereas with the wedding DJ business, it's more of a business. It's more of an entertainment business rather than an entertainer. Yeah. So you're kind of selling the business. It seems like that. Is that kind of how it feels too? Like,
so I think you hit the nail on the head. Those are the two aspects of it. And what I'm trying to sell to my clients is that I'm a mix of both, right? I'm a professional, right? You know what I mean? I got everything you need on the production side, right? But at the same time, I'm a badass DJ. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I tear it up, right? So I think the key as far as like wedding DJs is like offering the best of both of those worlds, and also marketing to where like people can see that you offer both of those things.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So,
did you ever want to go the entertainer route and like tour and do all that crazy shit that you see some of these guys doing, like John Summit and stuff like that?
Like honestly, I never thought I was like that talented to like get that big or anything like that. And I always saw that like there was a niche for like Indian weddings. If the listeners, and I know but the listeners don't know, I'm like primarily an Indian wedding DJ.
Yeah.
Right. So I always saw that there was a niche market for Indian weddings, and that I could provide what the market needed. You know what I mean? And make a decent living.
Yeah.
With that, or at least make decent money. So I just kind of like went that route. But at the same time, like how I came up as a DJ and like, kind of how I guess picked up that X factor, as far as like the technical skill side. I definitely spent hours, in the room, just like practicing, you know what I mean? Like, definitely did my fair share of like, club and nightclub events, you know what I mean? Yeah. So,
I mean, that's pretty much what they do. Like they go to Clay and stuff like that, like the Aokis and stuff like that. Yeah, they just do it on a huge, giant scale.
Yeah. So like, especially like earlier in my career, like when I was like late high school, like in college age and a little bit after the college age, right? Like I would DJ a lot of like, club events and like a lot of like South Asian club events, South Asian fraternity and sorority events, right? So that's kind of how I like earn my chops, like as a DJ.
Yeah.
Kind of like what I would consider how I like got that X factor, you know what I mean? To where like I'm not one of those wedding DJs that are wearing like a tuxedo with a cummerbund and stuff, right? So and that's kind of like what I try to do is bring like a little bit of a nightclub experience, nightclub feel to wedding receptions,
That shit, it's crazy to me that I still see nowadays, and I'm sure you've experienced this, is just being a DJ at a venue, not a wedding venue, but like a club or nightclub.
Yeah.
Bro, girls just throw themselves at you just because you're the DJ, dog. Like I was at fucking McIntyre's downtown for the fight, recent fight. Tank and Ryan Garcia. I don't know who this DJ is. Just some random guy working at McIntyre. I saw like 3 girls just come up to him and just stand behind him in the booth just to like talk to him and try and get his attention. And so he had all the power. He was just like, shut up.
Yeah.
What's up? Shut up. I'm like, just playing with them. But
sometimes I guess they want a certain song played, they definitely come up for requests and stuff. But yeah, I don't know, man. By the way, I'm happily married. Shout out to my wife, Nivea.
We know.
Yeah, but I guess like early in my career, definitely I would say like when I first started DJing, I was like, if I DJ, maybe I could get girls too, but I don't know. And you got to realize also, when I came up in DJing, I wasn't in like, it was pre like the social media boom and stuff like, I mean, Facebook was out, right? But like, it wasn't like it wasn't what it is now. So like I didn't really experience that, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I was also like overweight and like pretty much a drunken slob at certain points.
We all were at some point.
Especially like earlier in my DJ career. So
when did you start? Was it high school?
Yeah, I started when I was 16. I did my first gig when I was 16. I booked I was 16. I booked a Sweet 16. It was like me and two other of my buddies, right? So it was three of us, and we all like. I think my mom had bought me like a dual CD player for Christmas, and like my buddy had bought a mixer, right? And then it was the three of us. We all like gathered like different pieces of like home theater equipment from my parents' houses, right? And I think the one guy, he brought his like subs from his like car, and we hooked it all up in this like girl's house, and we just played music, man. Like that was
strictly just playing music. You don't have to do all the crazy.
I mean, we definitely had the stuff there to do it, but we didn't know how to. So like, I think there was like somebody else there that had some experience like in DJing, like an older, like a chaperone or something, right? And he was like, "Man, you guys are train wrecking." And like, I didn't know what that was. He had to explain to me what that was.
What is that?
Train wrecking is when you like play one song and then you play another one, but they don't mix together. And so it sounds like a train crash or train wreck as you're transitioning to the next song.
Yeah.
So so that's, I guess, my first gig. I learned the definition of train wrecking.
You guys got paid like on that one too?
Yeah, we got paid a little bit. I think we got paid like $300 or something like total. You know, I mean, this is $300 in 2003 money, right? So maybe it might be
that's like
around
$1,000 right now, maybe
like $500, $600 now. But yeah. Oh man, I just dated myself. You guys do the math now. Now you can. Now
just
you can
figured
know
it out. Yeah.
how old I am. But yeah, that was my first gig, and
you just ran with it ever since. So like from
in high school, I kind of like I got into it also because like I was doing like the mixes for like these Indian dance competitions that my high school was doing. So I went to like a foreign magnet high school,
What is that?
Bel Air High School. Right. So like, so I took Hindi in high school. Right. So
they taught Hindi at Bel Air?
Yeah, at Bel Air. It's a foreign language magnet school. So they have like Japanese, French, like all these different languages. And so, I went magnet over there. So I grew up in I was born and raised in Sharpstown, but I went to high school there. And then, then after that gig, I started doing, I think I booked my first wedding, like, that same year. Like I think I DJed my first wedding when I was like 17, right? And from then onwards, I was always DJing like private events through college and stuff. And you know, it was good money back then, so I just kept doing it, right? Like when I went to UTSA my freshman year, I had like a little bit more money in my pocket than like
most people,
my peers and my roommates at that time. I would go back to Houston to DJ pretty much every weekend, right? But I had some mentors along the way, you know, that kind of like hooked me up with like gigs and kind of took me under their wing, and you know, that helped. But you know,
you did go to college though. You didn't just
so I never finished collge.
Okay,
right?
You just strictly with like,
dude, I mean, you guys now I see your generation, the new generation. You guys got like your stuff together. You guys got. I think you guys have.
I think that's the half of us.
I mean, how old are you?
25.
Yeah, you got a house at 25, right? You know what I mean? That's like good, bro. Like when I was 25, I was degenerate, like basically drug addict and
I'm just
drunk.
Degenerate with my shit together.
Yeah, you know, but you know that's good. You can enjoy and like, you know, I think like people that are like my generation, you know, in the mid 30s, like, bro, I don't think we had our stuff together like you guys do. Like I see people like that are your age, like you guys got businesses and, you know, you guys are doing different ambitious stuff. Whereas like that time, I think I was just trying to get high and drunk, you know, like, I mean, I would be making money, but I would just be like blowing it, you know, blowing it. Right. And so, yeah, I've definitely had highs and lows when it comes to like DJing. Right. I mean, at the core of it, DJing is like a beautiful thing, right? Like, especially DJing weddings, even not at weddings, like you get to like create experiences for people, like people get hyped up, you know what I mean? Like, you create memories, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like I've had times in my career where, you know, DJing led to like, kind of like a, you know, low point. Right. And then I've had other times in my DJ career where like, you know, I got rid of the bad stuff that came along with DJing and like only, you know, got positive things there, right? So
do you mind sharing like what some of the bad stuff
yeah, of course. Like for example, like drinking, right? So in the beginning, like I think from my first gig, even that Sweet 16, we started drinking at our gigs and stuff, right? And then, you know, sometimes you feel like you have to drink, like DJ, and sometimes it becomes a crutch. And then it becomes like, oh, you know what? I can't get into it unless I have a drink or two, right? And then sooner or later, before you know it, you're blacking out at weddings.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And so that's definitely happened before. You know, in my 20 plus year career, right? So, and then, you know, and then drinking leads to other things and stuff, and then also sometimes, you know, especially in like the nightlife world and stuff, sometimes like the other people that you associate with in the nightlife scene are the most savory characters.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? So, I would say, like, especially for DJs that are just like getting into it, you know, always be aware of that, you know what I mean? Never forget why you started. Kind of like what the beautiful thing about DJing is like at its core is like just creating like experiences and invoking emotions like through music.
Yep.
Right. And always keep that as the heart and soul of it, right? And don't get lost in the sauce.
Yeah. I mean, you seem pretty analytical though about your approach. You said found the niche early on in weddings.
Well, I would consider myself a late bloomer, right? You know, and I think that I kind of got my stuff together like pretty late. I don't want to get into this like coulda, shoulda, woulda, and like, of course, like hindsight is 2020, right? And you know, I don't want to get too much into that because, you know, at the end of the day, it's just a downer. If we focus on like what we could have done, or I could have done this earlier, or I could have straightened out earlier, you know, that's just a negative line of thinking, right? Yeah. And so, but I would say that like my DJ career, I mean, it was going well, right? And you know, there was a couple of low points, but I think like after my wife Nivea, she came into my life, I think that's when like everything changed, and it's only been like upward from there, right? Yeah. And you know, there's certain things that like sometimes you need like an outside perspective on like maybe even the business that you've been doing for so long. Sometimes you need a fresh perspective to kind of like keep you in check, or like something that might be obvious to somebody that's on the outside looking in might not be so obvious to you.
Yeah, because you're just zoned in.
Yeah,
you're tunnel vision on what you're doing. So they see something, you're like, oh.
Yeah, like for example, DJing at somebody's wedding, not necessarily. It's a party for the guests and the bride and groom, your clients, but it's not necessarily like a party for you. You're still working, right? Yeah. So, you know, I think it was it before, like, I think after I met Nivea, that's when I kind of like cut out drinking at my events. You know, so it's kind of like been going really good after that. I mean, it was always, it was going pretty good, right? There were some low points between, like I said. There was like one wedding like in 2015, and this is when I used to work for another company, and
another DJing company.
Yeah, another DJ company, right? So pretty much from like I think like 2017, I've been on my own, right? But before that,
I thought you were on your own this whole time.
No. So like when I first started, I used to work for one company, and then in 2010, me and a partner, we started our own company. And then like in 2013-ish, I think to like 2015, maybe like, I think maybe by 2015, I was on my own already. But in between there, I started working for another company, right? And like, I could just, you know, it was kind of like a bad decision all around, right? Like, I was just like a lazy slob, and that's why I was like, oh, you know what? It'll just be easier if I just like show up, and I have this other company bringing everything, and I don't have to worry about anything. Yeah. They'll handle everything. I just come and DJ, right? Oh, party, you know. But there was this one wedding, bro, like where I got blackout drunk, and like I blacked out.
Yeah.
Right, and then.
What did they tell you what happened?
Dude, they told me that I played the same song like 5 times in a row. Like, bro, it was pretty bad. Like after the event, like the bride and groom were pissed.
Yeah.
Like they almost took like that other company that I worked with like to court. Like I gave like the clients a full refund out of my pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like bro, it was pretty bad. It goes without saying.
Like the full I got, song, like 5 times in a row.
I don't know about the full song, but like, you know, I don't remember. Yeah. Right? Like so, but you know, at the end of the day, it goes without saying, I got kicked off of that DJ company stuff. So, but yeah, so that was definitely one low point. Yeah. You know what I mean? And
I mean, hopefully you can look back and laugh at it now.
Oh yeah, like, yeah. Now I'm like, oh yeah. I mean, this was like about 10 years now, so I can definitely laugh. I can learn a lesson. Like, this is how bad it can get, right? You know what I mean? I mean, you know, we're talking about, this is like somebody's like wedding. It's their special day.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, you know, in my mid 20s, I did not have my stuff together.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and then, yeah, a couple other low points.
It's good though that you cut out alcohol, bro. Because not even just related to work, but once you've been using alcohol for a while and then you stop and you start to do the same activities that you were doing with alcohol that you weren't, now you're not doing without alcohol.
Yeah.
It feels so much better. Even sometimes, for example, I don't drink all the time. I drink here and there, usually on the weekends. Lately, I've been drinking pretty much every weekend when I go out.
Yeah.
But what I was doing for a while was I would go out and wouldn't have a drop of alcohol. I would just go out with my friends. We'd still go to bars, we'd still go to clubs, stuff like that.
You enjoy it?
I had a great time.
You do?
But you had to get into it at first. At first, I'm having the withdrawals without the alcohol and the nerves and the shyness because I'm so used to having that liquid courage, just bringing out the full version of myself. Then you start to realize, why the fuck can't I be the full version of myself without alcohol? So you start to practice it. It's almost like practicing it. You're re-teaching yourself how to just be yourself without the help of alcohol.
Yeah, you don't need that crutch.
Yeah, in every setting. And bro, I feel so much better. Like, I just feel natural. I'm so more at peace. The next day, I don't feel like shit. I feel the exact same as I felt the night before.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it's better. I always think about it. You know, I talk about it like, man, I should stop drinking altogether.
Yeah, a lot of people just stop drinking. You know, I mean, I still drink socially here and there. Right now, I'm on like a cleanse. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to just go as long as possible.
How long has it been?
Dude, it hasn't been that long. I think like I drank at Easter.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
That's still like, what, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah. But like, you know, I'm just trying to keep it going. You know, if there's a special occasion or like there's like some out of town family or something that comes over. But like, and then, you know, another thing is, I think, I'm pretty sure, like, you know, I don't have any like quantifiable evidence, but I think the hangovers get worse.
Oh, 100%.
As you get older.
I'm 25, you know what I mean? And I feel like I feel it way worse now than I did when I was 21.
So that's enough. But
it's a psychological opportunity to me. Now that I've tried it, I've tried both. After I've been using alcohol for a long time and tried to do it without it, and I've seen the difference. An opportunity to build your mental strength, really. Because
for sure.
If you can pull out the version of yourself that's drunk, because ultimately, sure, you do some belligerent sometimes, depending on how fucked up you are, that normally you wouldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, when people get drunk, not blackout, just drunk, they're just themselves without any nerves, any kind of anxieties or anything like that. You're able to pull that out without the help of alcohol and just stay like that forever, or like just stay like that when you're sober. It makes you so much more mentally strong, and that's what I've seen.
For sure. I mean, bro, like when I at first like cut out the alcohol at my gigs, it was so hard for me. Mm-hmm. Like, meaning like I couldn't get into it. Like I was like, oh man, dude, I'm not like getting hyped up. I'm not loose.
Yeah.
You know, but then eventually you get there, right? Like eventually you don't need the alcohol, and like just there doing your thing, and then you almost kind of remember why you did it in like the first place. So I definitely understand what you're saying, though. It's like in the beginning, it takes some training almost, right? Like, but then, you know, now like I get into it. I can get hyped up. Like, you know, I feed off the energy of the crowd. Like that's like the main. I don't need like the alcohol really. So
I don't know if you noticed this too, but another thing I noticed when I stop or when I'm not drinking, is bro, people have such a mob mentality. Like if you're not drinking, they are going to try everything in their power to make you to drink. Like, take a shot with me, have a glass. Like, it doesn't matter if you say no like 10 times. They're like, bro, and then they'll start trying to push it in a way of, oh, you're being a pussy. Stop being a pussy. Come drink with us. And you're just like, damn, like I can't just say no. Like, I don't want to drink.
Yeah, so that happens sometimes, especially I think being from like Indian culture. Sometimes like people just like really adamant, but you know what I mean? Like, you say no and you stick to it. I think like really some people, I mean, people that really care about you, they'll respect you, you know, like, so, I mean, like people that really care about you, like they're not going to like keep forcing you.
Yeah.
Especially if they know you tell them, hey man, you know what? I'm trying to get my stuff together. I want to drink, you know, like, they're not going to force you. Right.
Yeah. So, but it's like what I meant by that was more of like, it was an eye-opening experience and just how people think.
Yeah,
if they see someone in the herd not doing what the rest of the herd is doing,
yeah,
it alarms them where they have to try and kind of fix that abnormality in their mind. Because I'm big on psychology. I like looking at the way people interact, the way people act with each other, the way they just feel when certain things are not going in a situation as they expect. And that was a big one for me because I would be at clubs and stuff.
Yeah,
and my friends would be like, stop being a pussy, drink. I'm like, nah, I'm chilling today. I don't want to drink today. But seeing me not drink makes them, it's almost like a confusing aspect for them. That's how their mind takes it because they're like, I'm drinking. Yeah. Someone else is drinking. Why isn't he drinking? He needs to be drinking. It's that stuff fascinates me.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of extreme for me to say these people don't care about you. But like, you know, and maybe I think like you're like my age. No, I don't. People are not like, hey, come on, drink, man.
Because they're all like, fuck, I don't want to drink.
Yeah. More people will just accept it when you say like, hey, I'm not drinking. But yeah, when you go out every weekend, like you have a friends group and there's something out of the norm that happens, I could definitely see.
Yeah.
You know?
Bro, what's the craziest shit you've ever seen at a worst best man speech or worst dance, or what's like the craziest shit you've seen? I've seen some fucked up shit on YouTube, so I know you've been doing this shit for
the 20 years now. Craziest thing I've seen. I think okay, so there's been one time where I seen a drummer, right, percussionist. He somebody tipped him like $100, right? So we were at this party and like somebody tipped him $100. Everybody's drinking like crazy. Like, you know, this drummer, he like stopped playing to take a bathroom break. Right? And when he stopped playing to take a bathroom break, the guy that tipped him, like, he's pissed. Like, he's mad because he just gave him $100. He stopped playing, right? Yeah. So then, like, when the drummer came back, this guy that tipped him $100, like, picked up his drum and like just threw it across the room, and like there was about to be a fight that broke out between this drummer and this guy. The problem is when you're an entertainer, and there's like a fight or something, or a you know, like some kind of like tussle. You know, you as the entertainer, there's always less of you than there are the clique and the crew, the patrons that you're trying to fight against. So like, you know, it didn't turn into a full-fledged fight, but it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, y'all aren't allowed to take bathroom breaks, just in case y'all didn't.
I am, right? I can, but I guess at that particular situation, he wasn't allowed to, or that guy thought the drummer wasn't allowed to. I think that's probably one of the crazy things that happened.
I'm surprised you haven't actually seen a full-fledged fight at a.
I mean, fights have broken out, but usually they get like calmed down like really quick. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't had a party like shut down, because of a fight. Right?
Yeah, I think most people in the Indian community, behave for the most part.
Yeah, I think most people are in like a good mood. You know, like at a wedding, and like they're kind of scared of like making a scene. Yeah, you know, like for the most part. So,
but when alcohol's involved, man. Sometimes it's out of their control. They'll just make a scene without even knowing it.
Oh, there was another. I don't want to name any names, but I think there was another. We have a mutual. It's in our social circle. There was one event where there was a pretty crazy fight.
Really?
At the there's one like hall that a lot of events happen at, It's definitely in your social circle.
Oh, you're talking about that one?
That one.
Oh yeah. That's my cousin.
Yeah. I think that was pretty crazy.
Okay, that was like probably. I was pissed, bro. I was pissed. I left early that night. I was there at the same event.
Yeah.
I was so pissed, man. Fuck, why did I leave? Because
I think that's probably up there with one of the craziest things that happened before.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe I've been getting into problems a lot, I guess, because that was like it was bad in the moment, but like looking back on it, it's like I was just I mean,
I wish I'd thought, maybe if I had thought about this beforehand more, I could remember things.
Yeah, you've been doing this for a while now.
Yeah. So. But one of the craziest things. This is not at a wedding. Another crazy, like almost like low point story for me, but I'll share it since it's a podcast, right? It's a chance, right? So, so I don't know if you know, but there was a time where I used to be the arena DJ
at the Rockets,
Houston Rockets. Yep. So this is what happened. All right. So, long story short, with how I got the gig, right? So the Rockets had just one of their arena DJs had just left, right? So, there was somebody in the production team for the Houston Rockets that, like, production team meaning like the people that put together all the visuals and the music and like the camera work and the video work for like the games as they happen, right? At Toyota Center. So there was somebody in the production team that I went to high school with. He followed me on social media and stuff, and so he asked me if I wanted to come in for an interview for the Rockets.
Badass.
Right. So I came into the interview, like I prepared for the interview before. I kind of like was thinking, okay, what makes me unique? Like, okay, I'm a wedding DJ, right? So I know how to follow like a timeline, itinerary, you know what I mean? And like, I'm sure they have some kind of like itinerary timeline that they use. And I also like, so I kind of like wrote up this like paper more or less, brought it with me. Like I gave it to them, how my experience as a wedding DJ can benefit, the Rockets. Long story short, I got the job. All right. And so I became I think this is like in 2013, I believe. But so I became the arena DJ for the Houston Rockets.
Yeah.
Right. So this means not only did I play, and at this time, the arena DJ's job was different. I think now they split this job into like two different people. But at that time, so I played, not only did I play all the music that you hear like when the game's not going on, right? So like during like timeout, before the game starts, after the game ends, during halftime. I also played all like the music and the sounds that you heard during the game. So like we're talking about, so we're talking about the defense chants, like the chants on offense, like the different music. So you're allowed to play like different music for like offense when they're coming up, but then like for defense, there's only like a certain types of music that you're allowed to play. But anyway, I was handling all that, right? So, so another thing was, just to give you some background, I was now I think they have the DJ like down closer to the floor, but at this time they had me all the way up top at the top floor on the press box. So I'm watching the game from all the way at the top, and I'm also watching the game from like, right? So I don't really have the great vantage point to see the game. Yeah. Right. So anyway, let's get to the meat of it. Right. So, I was DJing like all the home games, right? I think I was doing it for about like 3 months or so. Right. And, there was one game. All right. This is when James Harden, he was playing for the Rockets. All right. And, there was one game, I forgot who they were playing or whatever. And I had one of my friends that was like in the stands also for this, right? So basically, long story short, James Harden got fouled. Okay, James Harden gets fouled because I can't really see like too well, and it's like every like 15 seconds, 30 seconds, it changes, right? Yeah. So I'm kind of like on edge, like just like ready for anything. Play whatever sound I need to play, or play music, whatever. But anyway, he got fouled, so I thought it was going to be like an inbound pass foul, right? Whereas it was like a free throw foul. Okay, so I think it's an inbound pass foul. So I proceed to like just press like one button on my DJ equipment that just like starts playing a song. It literally played for like 1 second or less. Like it was like, right? But then like I stopped playing it after that 1 second because I realized James Harden's shooting a free throw.
Oh, so you played it in the middle of his free throw?
Yeah, so it messed him up. It messed him up. I played that sound to play through the whole arena, okay? And then like he had just like like let it go, and he was like he looked around like, oh, what the hell?
Damn,
right?
That's the one person you don't want to
so basically, I cost him that free throw.
Yeah,
and we lost that game by 1 point.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so basically I affected the outcome of that game.
One, huh? They told you about
they like at the end of the game, like they told me like the CEO or whatever, like the guy that was under Maury, like he was talking. Like my manager, the head of the production team, he kept using the word shit can. It means like fired, right? He's like, oh, they're talking about shit canning you.
Yeah.
And then like the next day I left. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. And the next day he calls me. He's like, yeah, man, you come in.
What? One mistake, bro?
Bro, but it's like an NBA game. Think about how much money rides on that. Like,
that's true.
It's like you like
billions of dollars on that. Bet, like just a single bet, bro.
It's like I cost them at 1 point basically, and they lost the game by 1 point.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Damn. That's a risky job.
Yeah, bro. But
one button for a second can fucking
So just to give you some other background, when I got that job, it was like a big deal to my parents. Yeah. My parents like threw me a party and stuff. Like it was pretty crazy.
3 months.
Yeah.
Damn.
And then after that happened, I got fired. I didn't tell anybody I got fired for a while. Yeah. Like, dude, every time there was like a Rockets home game, I just go to like somewhere and disappear for a little bit. And like, just like, oh my God, it was definitely like a point, I guess. But now that I look back at it, it's like pretty funny.
Hell yeah,
and
that's
like,
hilarious, dude.
It's like, wow.
1 second. Just,
yeah.
Oh, there goes my career. Fuck.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, dude, the pay wasn't that great, right? It was like more like a marketing tool. Like if you DJ for the Rockets, you can say, hey, I'm the official arena DJ for the Rockets. You can use that like to get other gigs and
Did it open any doors for you and stuff?
Oh yeah, it definitely did. Even like, dude, technically I was a former DJ for the Rockets, right? So I could still say that, right? And you know what? Like honestly, bro, I don't feel like too bad about it because, bro, I know I'm like really good and I'm really quick with like cue points and like following itinerary. Like something changes, I'm on it like this, right? So I was at that skill level at that point, and it was that hard that I messed up. Yeah, you know what I mean? And like I think that like I was trying my best. Sometimes it happens, dude.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big responsibility role, like you said, because just the bet alone, the line for the Rockets to win that game, probably people bet like fucking billions of dollars on that line just for them to win the game.
So my boy, remember I told you my boy was there.
Fucked his parlay up.
No, he was like, dude, what was that?
Damn. So if he noticed it too, then it's pretty noticeable.
Dude, like like I said, I'm playing all the audio that you hear during the game. Yeah. Right. So
it was that noticeable.
Unless just
a little blurb though.
Yeah. I took care of all the audio unless there was audio embedded in a video that they played. Right. So, but everything else I handled it.
Damn.
So yeah, it was a big responsibility, and I definitely messed up Harden for that free throw. Yeah, that's for sure.
That's true. I mean, I guess
like, after it happened, I was like, oh my God.
You saw your career just go. Like,
start sweating.
Gotta take this off my resume now. Like shit. But that's still badass though.
Yeah, but I don't really have to take it off from my resume.
Just put you left. Like I got tired.
Yeah, nobody asks,
I got jaded with it. You know, it was getting to my head, the attention, the clout. Well, I just had to leave.
Well, now I can't. Now everybody knows, right?
Don't worry, my 50 viewers, they ain't gonna say nothing to your future employers or anything like that.
You're about to go viral, and then now you're gonna have all these people like.
They're gonna be like, so that's what that was in 2013. People are gonna be in my comments like, oh my God, I was at that game. Holy shit.
But like a lot of I haven't been paying attention, but a lot of the music and stuff that I programmed in their system, like they still use. Like I remember one, like you remember like the X-Men cartoon in the 90s?
No.
Oh, so that's
bro, I'm 97.
Yeah. Oh, so that show was out like the year you were born.
I didn't even know
okay,
TV
never
was
mind.
Back then.
But they had like a theme song, and like I that was one of the songs I used for their offense and stuff. So and some people once they heard it, they're like, oh wow, that's crazy.
Oh, that's badass though. So you still have like your fingerprints
until a couple of years ago. I honestly, I don't know now. Mm-hmm. But
would you ever go back to that? Because you said, like, for example, for wedding DJing, you said you feel like there's an expiration date. Are you still gonna keep up with the DJ, or is that when you transfer over to fully just managing stores, other businesses, investments like that?
Well, I'll keep DJing weddings until people stop calling me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I still love to do it. I'm gonna continue my passion until it's not available anymore, mm-hmm. right? But I definitely understand. Like I said, there might be an expiration date on this. Definitely gotta look after my family and, like, the future. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, and I'm sure you've heard it before. Don't just have one stream of income, right? 100%. Like, that's what COVID. I mean, that's what if any DJ didn't learn that during COVID, they might have something wrong with them. Because like, dude, like the wedding industry got turned upside down during COVID. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, pretty much 90% of events got canceled or postponed. Yeah. Right. Like, most clients, they wanted their deposits back. I personally, like, I gave back pretty much all my deposits except in like a few, maybe like 5% I kept because of like some different circumstances. But it's a lot of vendors didn't give back their deposits, mm-hmm. and like, they even though technically they were right, like, kind of like a lot, it kind of hurts your reputation.
Yeah, because that's like I think a lot of it was bullshit, but to the world, it was an act of God that was out of their control. So they like should technically
the China lab leak, man. It's that China 100%
lab. Wuhan, bro. Like this, the thing people don't realize about the world is that, especially when it comes to things of this scale, there's no such thing as coincidence. There's no such thing as this accident. Things mm-hmm. don't happen by accident mm-hmm. on a level of a scale as big as this. I don't give a shit who's watching. CIA could be watching this shit. That's a fucking fact. Like, this stuff, all of this stuff is planned. There's things and forces that are going behind it that lead to, what happens, the levels it gets to. People don't want to hear it because they want to stay in their little safe bubble and think that the world's all daisies and roses and shit. But there's a game being played in front of our faces, and just most people that we know, most people in our circle don't want to look at the game. They want to ignore it and just pretend there's no.
Yeah, man. If you induce fear, people are more likely to give up their rights to the government, bro. Right? And allow more oversight from the government.
It was an experiment to me. They wanted to see how quickly people would comply with mandates, because it was a less strict form of martial law. I mean, they locked us in our houses. Technically, they said they didn't enforce it, but they said you need to stay home. What's the difference between that and martial law? The only difference is there would be tanks, patrolling the streets and stuff like that, enforcing.
Yep, it's true.
So no one else talks about it, but they literally just tried out martial law in America to see how we would react to a tyrannical government, and I don't think we reacted well at all. We should have been outside protesting. We should have been like, "Fuck that." We're not getting locked down like over some stupid shit like this. But like you said, fear got to so many people. Oh my
god!
Man.
And it was like, dude, drama, like wearing a mask. Don't wear a mask. Man. Oh my god, you're wearing a mask. Oh my, dude, I remember it was like March like 14th or something. That 2020, bro. Like I had like they were just started announcing like lockdowns and stuff, and it was like pretty much my last gig after everything else got canceled. It's like, bro, I felt like weird just like coughing. Yeah. You know what I mean?
They look at you like you're like, fucking, oh my god, Satan, like, bro. Yeah. Like, oh my god, spawn of the devil, bro.
It was crazy.
Dude, I got into fights, man, like with family and loved ones and shit. Because I'd be like, what's wrong with you guys? Like, they would not understand where I'm coming from. I'm like, you guys have to take a step back, man. People didn't want to take a step back from their emotions. And
yeah, I mean, some people, like some people, if they're told like, hey, man, you might die, then they're like not trying to die. You know what I mean? Like they just believe it. I don't blame anybody. You know what I mean? Like, dude, there were, even if, let's say, that leak was true and like it was done on purpose or whatever, right? Like, those people, the sources that these people that like complied, sources that they trusted were telling them things. I guess they. So, to each his own. I mean, like I definitely lean right, but I understand.
The only problem is or you understand until it costs us our freedom. Then you can't, because that's the problem is when we continue to just say to people who react in that manner or people who follow what they hear, which in my opinion, I call them sheep. If we just continue to let the sheep be sheep and say, you know, it's okay, like they're being emotionally manipulated, not their fault. It's not their fault until it costs everyone else their freedom. Then we have to look back and be like, we should have said something, you know, we should have been like, you guys got to stop listening to what
I mean, like for example, masks, let the people who want to wear masks, but don't like mandate. People should have freedom over what they wear over there.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I think it goes farther than that. This is the step where I think some people disagree with me, some don't agree with me. Fine. If we have people who are doing behaviors that comply with certain narratives or certain initiatives or motives or agendas that people in the background are trying to push, and we have these people who, it's by their choice, choose to comply, and we choose to just say, you know, I'm not going to say anything about it. Everyone can have their freedom of choice. The problem is, it's going to keep encroaching.
Yeah.
At some point, you have to call out wrong behaviors, even if they have the freedom of choice to do it. You have to call it out and like be like, man, you shouldn't do that. You have to be willing to be convicted about your own ideologies enough to where you can tell other people why what they're doing isn't the best behavior. That's where I feel like there's a big separation between our, like, people who lean right versus people who lean left. People who lean left do that all day long. They'll be like, no, what you're doing is wrong. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
People who lean right are most of the time like, it doesn't, you know, they have their freedom. Let them do whatever they want.
Yeah.
That's one thing that the left does. People who lean left, I think is a good behavior. Yeah. They're so convicted by what they believe in that they will challenge other people.
They're trying to spread it. Yeah. Like, whereas people on the right, they're more like, okay, let them have their freedom to do whatever they want.
Exactly. Right? But the paradox is, in this is what I believe. I mean, I'm going to say this is true. The paradox is people who lean right have the right beliefs, and people who lean left more than likely have the wrong beliefs. But they're willing to fight for their wrong beliefs before we fight for our right beliefs. Yeah. That's scary. And that's what's going to lead us to tyrannical governments, because we might believe the right thing, but we're not fighting for it.
Yeah.
They believe the wrong thing. They're fighting for it. And the people who are going to fight are the ones who are going to win the war. The ones who don't fight, we're going to have to just sit back and take what's given to us. And that's the biggest part about why I even started this show also, is like, I want to have a voice in this, because there's always forces combating. Every society, every period of time, whether it's a social force that's at war, or whether it's physical forces at war, or countries at war, whatever it is, there's always opposing forces. I want to have a voice in that battle, man. I'm not going to just sit back anymore and, you know, be quiet. And it might cost me relationships. It might cost me, you know, friendships and stuff like that. But at this point, because of how far I see we've come as a country, just from the 60s, 50s, where we're at now. Yeah. I'm willing to forego those kind of stuff, you know? And I want more people who have the same beliefs as me. And I feel like you and I have a lot of similar beliefs just on that brief conversation we had. You know, I want people like us to be able to fight for those beliefs rather than just sit back and get rolled over by the ones who fight over their beliefs, you know?
Yeah, there's more and more people, like you said, pushing that I guess we're not part of, but there's nobody that pushing our beliefs as hard, right?
Yeah, and if it's a fight, which at the end of the day, technically it's a fight, you know, the ones who's putting in the effort's always going to win. It doesn't matter who has the skills, doesn't. Effort's going to take you to that next stage. That's why I'm really big on psychology, bro. I love that shit. Like, just seeing how people act in certain situations, seeing how they interact with each other. Yeah. I don't know if you're big on that or psychology.
No, not really. But kind of on the same topic. What do you think about Tucker Carlson and Don Lemon both being fired from CNN and
It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. I don't know what the background is and what the impact is, but I think that's great for Tucker, because Fox, to me, was kind of losing their core values as we've gotten over the past few years. So I'm not even really paying attention to Fox at all. I only would watch Tucker's clips on Fox if I did see anything from Fox.
Yeah.
So for him, I think that's good. I think that whoever hires him, whether that's the Daily Wire or Blaze TV or whatever network decides to hire him, get a champ on their fucking team, because he's, I think, a great host and a great anchor and a great entertainer at the end of the day.
Yeah, or he can do his own thing.
Or his own thing.
Yeah.
So great for Tucker. Great for CNN, but CNN's probably going to hire someone worse than Don. So I think they're great to let go of Don, because he was a puppet to me the whole time.
I mean, I think he was like extreme. I think they might hire. Dude. I mean, some people are saying that CNN might hire somebody more or more centrist.
Fuck no. You know,
you don't think so?
I highly doubt that. I think they're going to make, whoever they hire is going to make Don look like a Republican.
Oh my God, that's going to be tough.
This is the thing, man. This is the scary part, and the reality that a lot of people don't want to accept is there's no coming back from where we're at right now. It's just going to keep going in the direction it's been going. You have hiccups in the road, like when we had Trump as president. That was a roadblock to the agenda. But as soon as he's gone, what happened? We got 5 times farther down that same road that we were going before he came into office. So these things are, it's like a game, bro. This shit is a fucking
yeah. Movie. You know, in the midterm elections, not to turn this into like a political.
Okay, we can go anywhere, bro.
But like they say, like in midterm elections, everybody thought the Republicans were gonna like get the power back,
out, bro.
But I think it was like most people agree with the Republicans, but I think it was just this one issue of abortion that kind of like threw it off, right? Because I think a lot of people that were like in the middle liked a lot of like the Republican policies, but
I'm curious.
They didn't agree upon the abortion.
Mike,
the hard
can you
line
pull
against
up
abortion.
On the projector the stats on where people fell in terms of the abortion argument? Like how many people for it, how many people were against it? Because I heard a number, and I could be wrong, but I could have sworn that I heard like 60% of people were against it, which is surprising considering how many people you see online fighting for it.
Yeah.
I want to see that number, what the stat is. But yeah, that was a big issue. I mean, that's the major thing that most people chose to go blue versus red, was because abortion.
Yeah, because it's like the people in the middle that sway either way based on, right?
Yeah.
I think most people, they're Republican. They're just going to vote for the Republican all the time. But like I think elections are won on like the people that are kind of like in the middle, the centrist.
And the problem with the people in the middle that I've seen for the majority, I'm not going to speak for all of them, but majority, they lean left on social issues and right on economic issues.
Yeah.
Which is not good, because now, lately, the last, I would say 8 years, social issues have dominated the political space. It hasn't really been economics, because if it was economics, everyone would vote for Trump because he killed it when he was in office.
Yeah.
So social issues are where it's super important, where we have right people believing the right stuff to get us in the right places. But most people in the middle kind of lean to the left on that, because the left has a better way of stirring up your emotions.
Yeah, I mean, like they put the candy out there, right? Like I somebody told me something about, or I read something about like Biden was going to like reward people with like lower credit scores when it comes to like getting,
and he's going to make us with higher credit scores pay more money.
Yeah.
It came out like 2 days ago. Yeah. Like my friend, she sent me that, bro. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
He's penalizing people who work hard.
Who did the right thing, or responsible.
Exactly. Like it's a scary world we live in. That it's not just that. It's not just politics either. It's just society in America. The Western culture is just getting so it's filthy, man. Like that's why you see these passport bros, people flying to other countries.
Oh, passport bros.
Like it's so filthy over here, man. Like I go out, I see a lot of stuff when I go out, and I partake. I'm guilty as well, to an extent. Like when it comes to like family and men and women relationships, I probably don't do the best by all the women that I interact with. But for the most part, I feel pretty confident that I'm not completely filthy in the way that I behave. But I see some dark stuff, man, by women and men out here in the streets, bro. And that's the majority of the people my age now. They're all engaged in this kind of behavior. Because
there's all this like red pill, blue stuff out there. People are like trying to learn that. And I think like when I was younger, I think there was just like these pickup artists and pickup books that were out there. I never read any of that.
What's up?
Now,
we were talking.
Oh yeah, the blue pill, red
blue pill, red stuff. Yeah.
People, there's so much of that content out there that people kind of pay attention to that more.
Isn't that crazy, bro? Like when you were my age, like 25, 20s, did you guys ever talk about men and women relationships?
No, I never like thought about the psychology of a girl like before, like going into like a club. Okay, the girls, I just need to say this, and this is what they're looking for, so I need to portray myself in this, like this way. I never.
I know, bro. Times were simpler before social media and all this shit, because now there's so much pick me culture going on. Like mainly women or mainly men are doing pick me, like because we've elevated women such a standard now where men are kind of coming from the back foot when it comes to dating. They're like, oh, she has to pick me, she has to do it. So because of that, you just see men don't know how to fucking behave, or they go to the far extreme where they just become a fucking dog and like, I ain't trusting no bitch, so I'm just gonna dog all these girls. And the good girls get done bad because this whole dynamic is now being thrown around.
I mean, you can have your fun, like go out and stuff, but like I guess just think about like, where are you going to find that you want to marry?
Ain't gonna be at a club at a bar, bro.
You find her at the club?
Fuck
like
no.
Getting bottle service at Clay or something?
No, sir,
maybe
dog.
Be at church, grocery store, something. I don't know. I kind of had like a semi-arranged marriage, so like I was lucky. I lucked out. That's probably like my great achievement.
I've been swayed on that opinion. When I was younger, I used to be very adamant, like, oh, I'm never gonna do it. And I still feel like I wouldn't do an arranged marriage, but man, I respect it so much more because I see how Indian parents are so strict on making sure that their children follow and have virtues that are good and good for a family relationship. All my cousins who have had arranged marriages have great wives. Like they're not hoes, they're not thoughts, they're great women, great mothers, great wives. And so, like, as I've gotten older, I've started to understand, like, man, arranged marriages are a fucking great thing. Like, because Indian families know how to raise their daughters. They know how to keep them with the good values, keep them with virtuous kind of character traits where it translates over to a great marriage.
Yeah, I mean, like, for me, it was definitely, like, very good, right? But I'm not saying, like, I have to have an arranged marriage or whatever. But, like, I would say this. In a man, a good woman can elevate a man, right? Take the man to a higher level. Bad woman can bring that man all the way to the ground. So, and then like you can think about it as a numbers game. Like, as far as arranged marriages, usually like you're going to be connected with somebody that's like from a similar background, right, culturally. Right. So there's less like getting used to as far as like culture wise.
Yeah.
Right. That's definitely a pro. And it's not like back in the day where like, you hear these stories about like Indian parents. They like, we met each other. We talked for 10 minutes and then the wedding was fixed. Right. Yeah. It's like now it's like, okay, you get exchange numbers, you text each other,
social media, you see
talk, you see if you like each other. You know what I mean? And like for me, like, my wife that I'm married to, like, she wasn't like the first person that I was connected with, right? They're not, first person I connected with, like, I could definitely tell, like, we weren't vibing, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to move forward in anything if you're not vibing with it, if you're not, like, feeling it, you know what I mean? Like, your parent, like, whoever's trying to help you in this arranged marriage, like, nobody's going to tell you to continue with something you don't want to continue with.
Yeah.
I mean, so like for me, and then when I connected with my wife Nivea, like, bro, we hit it off. I mean, so it worked out for me. So
never take it for granted, bro, because being in the dating marketplace now, I can tell you, rarely do you find a woman who has kind of the good qualities that make a good wife and a good mother. Or I hate to say it this way, but she's been through the runner and now she's developed those qualities later on in life, which is still something that me personally, my preference, I can't.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I've learned is that there's such a double standard for guys and girls, right? Like when a guy is promiscuous, you're like, yeah. When a girl is promiscuous, like, oh my gosh, she was promiscuous.
It is true though, because it's about availability of access, right? Like girls don't have to try to get laid. They don't have to try. They just have to post on their status, I'm trying to get some dick, who's up? And they'll have thousands of people just like, especially these attractive women. She'll have millions of people in her DMs just like me. A guy posts that shit, he's gonna lose like 30 followers, and all girls thinking like, "Who's this creep?" Like, unfollow it. So it is a double standard because of the process of how to go about it. Men have to work to get that privilege. Women don't. Like, trust me, I consider myself as a pretty attractive guy. If I didn't have no game, I would not be having any luck with women. I had to work on myself. I had to improve my interactions. I had to improve my ability to be social. My communication skills, all this stuff had to fall into place, and I had to work on it, and I had to grow these skills. To even get access.
Yeah, I guess I had to too. I mean, like, I had to like convince my wife to say yes. At that time. So, like, I guess you just gotta like try to find the good ones somewhere and try to hit it off with one. And I guess try to establish a connection.
But it's also bad for a man to be promiscuous on the flip side, because the ability to establish that emotional connection becomes harder the more partners you have. That's just facts of the matter. Like, I've seen it myself, and then I've heard multiple people say the same thing. It's just like, this goes for men and women, but the more people you've been with, the harder it gets to kind of commit and stay in that committed relationship. Tough, but you got lucky, man. You blessed. You got a good one.
And this concludes this episode of Fresh and Fit. Just kidding.
No, but this kind of conversation dominates my shorts, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I don't even search this shit up. I'm just on shorts, like watching fights, and then I'll skip to the next thing I see Fresh and Fit. I'll skip to the next thing I see the Red
Now
Pill.
They got like beefs, like they're I remember like Fresh and Fit was like beefing with another podcast for a while.
Yeah, I think Abba and Preach.
Abba and Preach, it was funny.
That shit, bro. Like, I was like, who the fuck are these guys? Like, I didn't know who half these dudes were maybe 3-4 months ago. Now I know who all these fuckers are because of my shorts and shit.
I think they went on No Jumper too, right? No Jumper.
I think so. Yeah. I used to watch that one more often than not because I was big into like rap and stuff. But now I'm kind of like pushed away from that stuff. But
because that dude, like, they started doing porn and shit, right? Like,
No Jumper, I think his girlfriend's a porn star.
And
like,
then
like they do
weird
threesomes and stuff with other porn stars.
They just interview porn stars all day. It's either rappers or porn stars, pretty much.
Bro, that's another thing that'll never go away and never decrease, but needs to, is porn, bro. The industry needs to just get cut out. That shit is destroying people.
In India, I heard it's like illegal.
I think so. Yeah. In the Middle East too.
Yeah.
The Middle East is illegal. That's how it should be, bro. Like, kids can access fucking the internet so easily. Yeah. Doesn't matter if they're 6 years old, 7 years old.
Destructive.
Dude.
Super destructive.
My God. If I could go back in time, that's the one thing I would or never do in my life. Is this what we're looking at right here? Article and all stats. Okay. What website is it? Center. I don't know what that is.
So basically, like, Republicans are more like, in any case, right? Like, abortion should be like illegal.
Like, what are your thoughts on it? Like, what's your personal opinion? If you could share.
I think that, like, if the health of the mother is questioned, like, if the life of the mother is like at risk, definitely, like, it should be at least an option, and like the couple or the mother should be able to make a decision based on their convictions.
I think here, though, that would never be in America. Our healthcare is too, like, because I've never seen that issue ever.
And then maybe in the case of like rape, right? That case, they like, and of course early, like, you got to make like, if you got raped, you got to get. I think it's on you to get a pregnancy test and find out if you're pregnant or. I'm not. I don't know how I feel about having an abortion after like heartbeat stuff. I mean, I don't know all the technical side of it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, a life, like extinguishing a life at any point, you got to live with the.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, can you tell I was?
Oh wow, never mind. I was wrong. So it's 62 said that it should be legal, and then 36.
But like in some case, it says in some cases, right? So that doesn't mean that 62% of
it says all or most, and then 36 said it should be illegal in all. So by that number, we can say 62 more or less are for abortion, and 36 are against it. So it's actually usually in the opposite direction.
But usually the people that are against it are pretty much like hardline against it, whereas like people that are pro-abortion, not pro-abortion, but are for abortion, they like could be like mostly pro-life, but it's like they want those circumstances.
They have stats for that too,
and leeways to exist. Right?
Yeah, they did studies on that by those determining factors. By okay, are you for it for rape and not other stuff? Or are you for it for all stuff? They had, I don't remember where I saw it, but regardless, if we go by these numbers here and just generally say 62s are for, 36 are against, there's your reason why we didn't have a red wave in the midterms right there, because everyone was saying red wave for like fucking 6 months.
I think like I'm not an expert, but I think that's like the single issue that caused it. Like, you know what I mean?
Because it was the talking point right before midterms.
Yeah.
Because they turned over Roe v. Wade like right before the midterms.
Yeah, it's such a polarizing issue.
Bro.
I mean, like,
and my opinion is it shouldn't be, but that's probably everyone's opinion on every topic is, the way I believe it shouldn't be a polarizing topic, but unfortunately it is. So, I guess that's what makes us different, right? We all have our own way of looking at certain things, but to each and every single one of us, it's very simple, the answer.
All right, so who's gonna run for president and who's gonna win?
Oof, that's tough, man. That's tough because of what happened in 2020. All
right, let's talk about Republicans first.
I believe it's gonna be Trump. He's definitely winning the primary. I just hope he wins the primary without having to battle DeSantis for it, because I don't want them to go to war and bring out dirty laundry on each other.
Yeah, especially DeSantis, because DeSantis could sit this one out and just go for the next one, right?
Yeah, but he's not going to. I don't think so. He's too prideful. They're both too proud.
Once that dirty laundry comes out, it can never go back in the hamper.
Yeah,
back in the dryer.
Trump's too good at it, man, and that's why I don't want him to do DeSantis, because most people can rock with DeSantis more than they can rock with Trump.
Yeah.
So I don't want him to fuck that image up for the next election, because then people are going to call back and say, oh, well, Trump said this about him, so we shouldn't vote for him. So I really don't want them to go to war, but dream team situation, ideal, my happy place, Trump president, DeSantis vice president. Oh my God, I'll be. But probably what's more than likely going to happen is Trump's going to win the primary for Republicans, and his running mate's going to be that Indian dude that came out. I don't know.
Wait, Trump's going to have an Indian
VP probably. Yeah. My friend told me about him. I haven't looked into him too much, but he's this. I forgot what he did before. I think he's a business owner or a entrepreneur or something like that. But he's a Republican Indian guy, and he's been blowing up. And Trump's already endorsed him, so it's probably going to be him as his VP. I don't think he's announced him as his running mate or anything like that, but I think it's going to be him. So if he wins the primary, it'll be him and that guy as his. I think. And will they win? I thought they were going to win in 2020. I thought it was going to be a destruction, but look what happened then. So you can never be too careful, bro. There's a lot of forces going on that happen and affect certain things. They do affect the outcome. So there was too many red flags in that election. They stopped counting. When did it ever take less or more than 24 hours to count an election? Never. Until 2020. It took fucking weeks. Almost a month in some cases.
That's true.
Too many red flags that happened in that election. Just proved it wasn't fair, because it should take 24 hours. All these mail-in ballots and shit that they tried to push, and they stopped counting in certain locations, closed the doors and stuff. Like, there was so much shady shit going on. So keeping that relevant to this coming election, don't know. It should be a landslide victory for Republicans, whether it's Trump or DeSantis running, but it's probably not going to be.
And do you think the right's gonna like an Indian running mate?
Yeah. I don't think they'll give a shit as long as he's like believes what we all believe in. Yeah, I mean, if he has the same philosophies
Oh, I remember what I asked you. Do you think Trump wins without getting back on? I mean, I think they allowed him back on Twitter, right? But he still uses his own platform, like Truth Social, or right?
I think he wins regardless because he's putting his face out there on all kinds of platforms. So whether he's on Twitter or not, he's still going to be relevant and everywhere. He's gonna be the guy, the it guy during elections. No one's going to care about what he's saying. Yeah. Biden's not going to be able to say a fucking sentence, so they're only going to be watching what Trump has to say. So it should be a landslide victory, and because of all the feedback and the things we've seen over the last 3 years from people who voted for Biden originally, who are now flipping to saying we want a different president, we want someone better, that have basically now come on board and say Biden fucking sucks, we should see a landslide victory. But
but I just saw something, Sauger from I forgot his, like an independent, he's on an Point. Anyway, whatever. This is a guy named Sauger. He's like kind of like a guy, I guess, but he posted something today that said like out of Democrats, like 60% are still like behind Biden to run presidential.
Jeez, bro.
But I think from what I've read and like listened from different podcasts, I think people are forecasting that if it's Trump and Biden, Biden's going to win. But if it's Trump versus DeSantis projected that. So
they think DeSantis would win the primary?
No. Well, I'm not commenting on that. I'm just saying that like if DeSantis wins the primaries, right, and it's DeSantis versus
so you might decide DeSantis versus Biden? Yeah. Oh no, I think either way it should be the Republicans. That statistic, I find it very questionable. The 60% still think Biden, because seeing him not even be able to say a coherent fucking sentence and thinking he should be the leader of our country. Yeah, I don't think 60% of them can.
I'm with you, man.
With a straight face, say, yeah, we want him. The guy who can't
did
even.
Did he announce that he's going to run?
He
did, right?
Him and Kamala again, bro. Like
it's such like a huge like talking point. Like
he's demented.
Prime.
He's
definitely past
demented,
his prime,
bro. Like he's literally struggling with dementia. It's visually confirmed that he has a severe or moderate case of dementia. Like,
maybe he's just surrounded by yes men.
I mean, 100%. But he's just a puppet. When he was a puppet from the beginning, I think he really made an impact, except a negative one, since he became in office. But we gotta see, man. I'm not having high hopes. Every time I have high hopes for something good to happen to America, it goes the opposite direction. I'm just gonna fight. I'm gonna fight my good fight, put my opinions out there, push where I need to push, vote for who I need to vote for, tell people who I can to vote for who I think they need to vote for, and that's kind of all I can do.
Yeah,
we'll see, bro. We just have to pray. At the end of the day, we all answer to a higher power, so we'll just keep our faith in him. But this isn't his world, right?
Yeah,
this is Satan's. So we'll see. Well, not until he comes back, man. Then we'll see what happens. Yeah, I don't want to get too down this rabbit hole because it can get.
You're down there now, bro.
But you ready to play some chess, bro?
Oh yeah,
you play?
No. I don't think I remember last time I played chess.
Do you remember how to play?
Yeah, I remember what all the pieces do.
All right, let's get this set up real quick. Are we good? We're recording? That camera's recording? All right, bet. After you, sir.
So these front ones I can move. The pawns I can move 1 or 2, right? Or is it
only the first move can be 2, and then everything after that has to be 1.
Okay.
Or you can move the first one 1, 2, but the first move is the only one where you could do 2 if you want.
All right.
I'm gonna try and speed run this one. Oh, great move action. Fuck.
This is about to be your shortest game.
Nah. We've already passed the shortest game.
For real?
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
I have a move I do all the time that I just pinch right away. But you commandeered it before I had the chance to set it up.
I have no strategy.
You fooled me, bro. Yeah.
The most powerful piece on the board.
I use her all the time. All Fuck protecting her. She's my weapon. She's my weapon of mass destruction. I love the queen. I wish I could just have a board full of queens. Interesting. What you got, man?
Idea.
Okay.
Damn it. Yeah.
Where you going? Go. I've been practicing, bro.
Oh shit.
I play chess way too much.
Oh shit. Wait. Well, you would have got me if I didn't get you.
Well, I'm still gonna get you.
Fuck. Damn it.
Thank you for your queen, sir. She'll be.
But if I kill somebody with a pawn, it has to be a diagonal or something. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate it though. She'll be good over here.
Yeah.
We got Tito's and everything she needs over here.
A bottle service.
Bottle service.
Yeah.
Where are you gonna go?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I play on the app chess.com all fucking time, dude. All the time. Not good. I'm taking a shit. I'm playing chess. So I have a lot of practice. Let's see, what you move? Still got a lot of pieces. Oh. Oh. Sir, you forgot about your boy.
Check. Oh, damn it. I suck at this. Oh my god. What do I do?
You got it. Okay. Where should I go now? Pull this guy out. Slowly but surely. It's only a matter of time. Damn, I thought you knew. I would have told you if not to practice your chess. I thought you knew that was part of the show.
I didn't have time to practice. I was like, oh yeah, I'll just do my thing. He'll beat me just like he beats everyone else.
Yeah, you make me sound like I'm good at chess. I'm not that good.
Hey man,
I'm not that good.
Numbers game.
It's literally just like everything else. You gotta practice. If you're gonna get good at it. Where are you going, man?
No idea.
Let's see. If I can just do that. Actually, no, I won't do that. Actually, yeah. Get that out of there. Open up some space. I'm trying to think what you can do. Okay, I figured you were gonna go there. I'm gonna castle.
I don't even know what that means.
So if you haven't moved your rook or your king on either side, you can castle, which basically means you. So if I castled this way with this rook and this king, I would have moved the king over 2 and moved the rook over 2. But since I castled this way, I moved the rook over 3 and moved the king over 1 or 2. It's basically only if you haven't moved either of them. So if you moved your king at all or moved your rook at all, you can't castle anymore. And if you're under threat. So like say I didn't have these two pieces here and you had a white bishop there, like this direction, I can't castle because that would put my king in threat in the process.
Okay.
But I saw what you were trying to do there. What you gonna do? You could do that, but you don't want to do that. Oh, I don't want to do that either. Actually, I'd die. Let's see, where can I go from here?
For some reason, your mic keeps going out.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, it's because I keep probably like going on the side and stuff.
Yeah.
Even for me, it's difficult to just keep talking while I'm playing.
It's your turn, right?
You. I just moved
okay.
my knight over there next to your bishop.
Oh.
Yo, bro, back to what we were talking about earlier about being distracted. You have to be focused on like tasks, being productive. Otherwise you will. For me, it's YouTube, and then yesterday and today, video games. Like I hadn't played video games in months, and then hopped on. Donezo. My time gone. My fucking focus gone. I almost skipped working out, which I love to do for playing video games. Like fuck, that's not good.
Yeah.
I know you're trying to focus.
I don't know what to do, bro. I'm just gonna pussyfoot around, I guess.
Make me work, huh? Shit. Where can I go from here? I guess I need to incorporate. How can I get this one?
Biden 2024.
Bro, I have no time limit. I can think as much time as I want. I can reset from your comment and play my move. Let's see. I'm gonna go here. That was not a good move. Fuck. Why'd I do that? Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'll play that out. Why not? Yeah, you're just fucking around, aren't you? You just gotta develop a strategy. Run with it. Don't worry about my moves. Go for what you want. Okay, trying to open up that bishop. I think I know where you're going. Yep. Knew it. Knew it. Let's see. Check. Queen ready?
Oh, wait. You're just gonna kill me.
Yeah, pretty much. Called it. Thank you, sir. Oh, actually, yeah. Okay, see what you did there. I'm gonna go here and say check. Oh shit. There's gotta be a way I can end this quicker. Okay. Oh, nice. Check. Mate.
Wait, how'd you put 2 queens on?
If your pawn makes it across to the other side, you can trade it out for a piece. So,
all right, good game, man.
Everyone trades for a queen usually. So,
okay.
I think that's checkmate. Let me check. Hold on. Oh wait. Oh yeah, that's checkmate. Checkmate.
All right, good game, man.
Good game. Hey, at least you know how to play. Like,
yeah, but good.
It just takes practice.
Trust me, bro. I don't feel bad at all.
At least you know your limitations, bro.
Yeah, man. Chess, not my strong point.
Yeah, but appreciate it for coming on, man. I feel like we covered a lot of fucking topics today. We
did.
We started with the career and went down the fucking rabbit hole.
Yeah, man.
Theories and ideologies and shit, man. But appreciate you for coming on. Thanks for making the trip out here. I know it's a far drive, but
thanks for having me.
Absolutely, bro.
First podcast.
Check it off the list.
Check it off the list.
Yeah. Joe Rogan. He's
Joe
coming
Rogan
for you.
next. Yeah. Ready for action first, Joe Rogan.
There
next.
you go. Hey, shit. If I'm the fucking gatekeeper for that, I love it. That's great. But we can go ahead and clock it.